Hello, and welcome to Ghost Flights of Christmas. What you are about to see is a retelling of A Christmas Carol. You will see the Hawks Aerobatic team performing many of the flight routines that have made them one of the premier aerobatic teams in Second Life. We would like to thank Seanchai Library, the Dickens Project, Linden Labs and Patch Linden for the regions and for the opportunity to be part of this very special event. The story was written by Luke Flywalker. Voice actors are Corwyn Allen as Alexander Scrooge, Kayden O'Connell as Bob Ratchet and Bill Farley, Faerie Maven Pralou as Ghost Pilot of Past and Ghost of Things Yet to Come, Caledonia Skytower as Narrator and Ghost Pilot of Present. Character actors are Luke Flywalker and Brandy Whittenton. Ghost pilots are Johnny Number 5, Ginny Triat Kaz, Kara Petrovich, Mila Kowalski, Carter 94, Romy Ryder. Now, clear your mind, relax and think happy thoughts. It's time for Ghost Flights of Christmas.
Our story opens in a hangar located at a small airport. The hangar is old but well kept. The sign over the hangar reads Scrooge and Farley Aviation. There's an old man sitting at a desk counting money. The old man is Alexander Scrooge, a descendant of Ebenezer Scrooge. Alexander, or Scrooge, as his associates call him, has been a resident of these parts for many years. Scrooge is a sad and bitter old man. Over the years he's experienced failed romantic relationships and rejection by many because of his unscrupulous business practices and his mean spirit. He has no friends and only enjoys making more and more money. Wealth has become his god. His business partner passed away 7 years ago, leaving him with the entire business. Bill Farley was as unscrupulous and mean-spirited as his partner, and they enjoyed taking advantage of people. They sat together in the hangar office at night, counting their money and laughing about all the poor, stupid people they'd taken advantage of that day. Farley was beyond redemption, because he had already passed from this earthly life. But what about Scrooge? Is there any hope of redemption? Had he always been this evil? Today is Christmas Eve, just another day to Alexander. He hates Christmas, mainly because most of the businesses are closed, and nobody will be flying freight, so he can't make any money. Suddenly, he hears a noise, a ringing clatter like someone has dropped a wrench. In fact, that is just what has happened. His only employee, Bob Ratchet, is trying to slip into the hangar, and he bumps a workbench and knocks off a 19mm open-end wrench. He is just 5 minutes late, and he knows Scrooge will be angry. He's afraid he will lose his job.
Ratchet? Is that you?
Yes, sir. It's me. I'm sorry if I startled you. I was just getting ready to finish up the engine on that Twin Otter.
Ratchet, you were doing nothing of the sort. You were trying to slip in. You're 5 minutes late. Again? I'm telling you, if another mechanic walked through that door right now, I'd hire him on the spot and give you your walking papers. Fortunately for you, there is a shortage of qualified aviation mechanics.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. My son is sick, and I had to take him to the doctor for another injection. My wife, she couldn't do it because...
Enough of your excuses. I do thank you for finding the time to work me into your busy schedule today. Now get to work before I send you to the unemployment office for your first check.
Yes, sir.
Bob works all day to get the Twin Otter repaired and airworthy. He only stops for 10 minutes to eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and an apple, the lunch his wife packed for him. Scrooge is still sitting in the hangar office counting money at quitting time. Bob finally works up the courage to go and ask Scrooge a question before leaving for home.
Mr. Scrooge, sir,
What is it, Ratchet? Can't you see I'm busy?
Well, sir, tomorrow is December 25th, and...
I know what day it is, Ratchet. You think I don't know how to read a calendar?
Well, no, sir. Yes, sir.
Come on, Ratchet. Spit it out. I don't have all night.
Tomorrow is Christmas, and I want the day off to spend with my family.
Christmas? Humbug! That's a holiday for uneducated morons. Do you know people celebrate it as a Christian holiday, but actually its origins are ancient Druid religions? Humbug, I say. Just shows the lack of intelligence of people who celebrate Christmas today. Humbug, humbug, and double humbug. What's this world coming to?
Oh, sorry, sir. I just want the day off to spend with my family.
I know you're sorry, Ratchet. You're one of the sorriest people I know. I guess you won't be happy until I relent and give you the day off. Holy God, Ratchet, you are as bad as the rest of the idiots I must deal with daily. Take your day off, but be here all the earlier on the 26th. Now get out of here and leave me in peace. I have more work to do.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Scrooge works in his office for a couple more hours after Bob Ratchet leaves. It is completely dark now, and he is beginning to feel some hunger pangs. He gets up from his desk and walks over to a small mini-fridge. He doesn't see the need for many modern conveniences to make his life more comfortable. He even gave up his home and now lives totally in the hangar. He sleeps on a cot in the storage room, and he lives on packaged burritos and junk food that he buys at the corner convenience store. He opens the mini-fridge and takes out a burrito, rips open the package, puts it on a paper plate and throws it in the microwave, sets the timer for 1 minute. While he stands there waiting, for some reason, his thoughts drift back to his youth. Back to the time when he was a young bush pilot before he went into the business with Farley. He worked for a mission organization that flew medical personnel and supplies to indigenous people in remote areas. Christmas was always a special time. Scrooge would fly food and presents into remote areas. He dressed as Santa and hosted a big Christmas party. Much merriment was made. He loved flying, and he loved the fact that he could do good while doing something he enjoyed so much. The microwave brings him out of his reverie, and just like that, the thoughts of the past are gone. Scrooge grabs the burrito out of the microwave, opens the mini-fridge, pulls out a beer, and goes back to his desk to consume the meal. Lost in thought as he eats, thinking about all the money he is going to lose because of Christmas, he doesn't hear the noise out in the hangar at first. Then suddenly he hears something like a rustling or a gentle breeze. Scrooge hears the noise again. He gets up from his desk and walks out into the hangar to check the back door. He's confronted by a sight he doesn't expect to see, even in his wildest imagination. Startled, he looks for something to protect him. He grabs a spanner wrench off the workbench.
I don't know who you are or what you're doing here, but you better get moving before I cave your head in.
Scrooge realizes this would be a useless move because the apparition in front of him is more vapor than flesh. He has the feeling he knows the person, but he's so disfigured he can't tell for sure.
Do I know you?
You surely know me, Alexander. We were friends and business partners for 40 years. Oh, the pain. Oh, the misery. Oh.
But how is this possible? You've been dead for 7 years. This isn't possible.
Oh, it is possible, Alexander. I am doomed to walk the earth, carrying the chains I created in life. These chains represent my sins, my hard heart, my mean spirit, all the evil things I did to people I now carry with me every day of eternity. Oh, there's no hope for me. Oh.
But why have you come to me? You did me no wrong, nor I you.
I have come to warn you, Alexander. Oh, the pain.
Warn me? Warn me? Warn me about what? Tell me.
Your days are numbered, Alexander. Your days are numbered and your chains will be heavier than mine, Alexander. Eternity is a long time. You have no idea. Oh, I hurt so bad. Please make it stop.
Surely this is a mistake. I'm not a sinner. I've only done what I thought was right.
Scrooge, you are more evil than I ever was. You cheated. You continue to cheat many people and laugh about it. You are doomed. Doomed, I say! Unless...
Less what? Tell me, Spirit, tell me.
Unless you repent! Oh!
Until now, I didn't know I needed to repent. How can I do this?
You will receive help that I did not have. 3 spirits will visit you this night.
3 spirits?
Yes, 3 spirits. They will show you what your life has been and map a way to redemption.
But how?
I cannot tell you more. Just don't turn the spirits away. Oh, I'm in so much misery. Oh.
Farley? Farley! Don't leave me. Come back, please.
Scrooge is shaken, but he does not finish his burrito or beer, and he goes straight to bed. Scrooge falls into a restless sleep for 1 hour. At 1 a.m., he is awakened by the sound of airplane engines. He tumbles from his bed and runs out of the hangar. There are 2 biplanes sitting on the tarmac, and one taxis toward him. The planes have a green, ghostly glow, and the pilots look like skeletons.
Hello, Scrooge. We are the ghosts of Christmas past. We're here to take you on a little airplane ride.
How do I know you're not just the bad burrito I ate, a figment of my bad dream?
Hop in and find out.
Spirits, what is the purpose of this flight? Where are we going?
We're going to your past.
My past? How is that possible?
You used to love to fly, correct?
Oh, yes, I certainly did, and I was a damn good bush pilot.
But you lost your joy of flying. You used to fly planes to help people. You loved Christmas. You flew Christmas presents to children in the mountains. What happened to you, Alexander? You are a sad, lonely, bitter man. But enough talking. Hold on. We are going to take you on the ride of your life.
Scrooge forgets himself for a moment and lets out a whoop of joy as both planes roll in unison and go into a high alpha maneuver. He finds it hard to believe that the pilots can hold the planes in the air flying this slow. It must be some kind of magic. Now, the planes regain forward motion. Circling the field, they go into some kind of weird looping maneuver that Scrooge has never seen before. He can see smoke coming out of the backs of the planes, and he knows they're making some kind of pattern in the sky, but he has no idea what it is. If he'd been standing on the ground, he would have seen that the pattern was something the ghosts call yin and yang. It has some kind of special spiritual meaning to them. Now the planes fly in formation across the field. When they cross the center, they roll outward 270 degrees, then back toward each other, crossing paths. The planes were so close when they passed that Scrooge could see the pilot in the other plane laughing with glee. Heading in opposite directions, they bank toward each other. Scrooge is certain that they're going to hit head-on, but at the last second, both planes roll toward each other again, crossing paths with minimum separation. Scrooge is certain his heart is going to stop. He has never seen such flying skill. Both planes circle in the opposite direction, flying directly at each other. The opposite plane goes into a 360-degree barrel roll to avoid hitting the plane Scrooge is in. Scrooge's pilot noses the plane up into a loop, but just past the top of the loop, they roll back upright, making a half figure 8. Now, nose up, they fly as vertical as they can without stalling. When they reach their set altitude, they start a sort of loop down and then cross at the bottom, making a point. Again, if Scrooge had been standing on the ground, he would have seen a perfect heart of smoke in the sky.
Well, Scrooge, what did you think of that?
That was amazing. I forgot how much fun it is to fly. Thank you.
Now, watch the sky. We have a parting message for you. Your night is not over. Remember, you have 2 more visitors.
The plane takes off and circles the field one more time, rolling 90 degrees with smoke on. He flies up, around, making a perfect circle in the sky. Scrooge thinks out loud, "That looks like a Christmas wreath." Suddenly, there is an explosion of fireworks and the wreath is decorated with 1,000 sparkling lights. As Scrooge stares up at the Christmas wreath, he remembers his days as a bush pilot, playing Santa Claus for the children, and the joy it brought him. Scrooge is once again awakened by the sound of approaching aircraft. This time, it's jet engines he hears. He runs out of the hangar to see a Bayhawk landing and taxiing toward him. The pilot brings the plane to a stop in front of Scrooge and pops the canopy.
Good evening, Spirit. I take it you're my escort to the next segment of my nightmare?
If you want to look at it that way, sir, but we're here to take you on another flight. Please hop in.
Fine, but who are you?
We are the ghosts of Christmas present. We're going to show you what your life would have been like today if you had not lost your joy. Scrooge's pilot brings the Bayhawk into a tight formation with 5 other planes. They circle the field once. Then the formation breaks apart and each plane goes in a wide, banking maneuver that heads toward the center of the field, with all planes coming from different directions. Scrooge cannot believe what is happening. He is sure that all 6 planes will crash head-on and explode in a ball of fire, but they do not. They all pass center field with only inches between them. Now, banking around, the planes make 2 formations, heading in opposite directions. Each group banks 180 degrees and heads directly at each other. Scrooge holds his breath, sure of another mid-air collision. At the last second, just as the planes pass within inches, all planes pull up and go into a loop. Scrooge feels under his seat for an airsick bag. All planes regroup in the diamond formation. They fly around the field, and then suddenly, they all turn in unison 90 degrees up the center of the flying field. Just past midpoint, they all break in different directions, crossing paths in a crazy pattern. Scrooge is certain this was the end. It was like he was in the middle of an explosion. Feeling the G-force as the planes bank first one way, then the other, he comes close to passing out, but somehow maintains consciousness. Well, Mr. Scrooge, what did you think of that?
I have never in my entire life felt such power. Oh, what I would give to be able to fly one of those machines.
Well, Mr. Scrooge, our life choices do have an impact on ourselves and on others, but remember, it's not too late. You still have time to change. We have a parting message for you. Please, watch the sky, sir. Scrooge's pilot takes off and rejoins the other Bayhawks. They circle the field a couple of times, then move in different directions. They bank 90 degrees and turn smoke on as they fly toward each other, making something like half arcs. Scrooge looks on in amazement as he realizes what they have just painted with their smoke. "It's a Christmas tree," he exclaims. As Scrooge makes his way back to his cot in the hangar, he looks for a spot in the hangar to put a Christmas tree.
What am I thinking? Put up a Christmas tree? Bah, humbug. Never.
About an hour later, Scrooge is once again awakened, but this time it's not the sounding of aircraft. He feels a presence by his bed. He sits up in the cot and he sees an apparition standing next to him. It looks like the Grim Reaper.
Spirit? What do you want of me?
I am the ghost of Christmas yet to come. Look to the sky to see your fate. Watch now and understand their message.
Scrooge looks up to see X-Wing fighters circling the field. They begin a banking maneuver similar to the Bayhawks, all aircraft moving to different spots over the field and then banking to come together head-to-head in the center. But this time it's different. As soon as they cross paths, they begin a loop. At the top of the loop, they cross paths again. Continuing down to complete the loop, they cross paths again at the bottom. Scrooge is speechless. He has never seen such a complex and dangerous aerobatic maneuver.
Spirit, that was amazing. But what is it called?
The Wheel of Death.
No. Say it isn't so. No. Does it mean my death?
Watch the sky.
The X-Wings return to their diamond formation and circle the field one more time. With smoke on, they break formation. They all begin flying a different pattern, creating images with their smoke. The thing they create looks strangely familiar to Scrooge.
Spirit, is that a tombstone?
Yes.
Is it mine? Oh, please, God, don't let it be. I can change. I pledge my life from now on to only do good. I'll serve my fellow man the rest of my days.
It's December 26th, the day after Christmas. Bob Ratchet is rushing to get to work. He knows he's going to be late again. He had a big party at his house on Christmas. He had been so upset that he was not going to be able to afford much of a Christmas for his family. He'd been depressed for days, and then, on Christmas morning, a delivery van pulls up outside his home. The driver and his assistant come to the door. They had presents and a full Christmas dinner complete with turkey, ham, and all the trimmings. To top it off, they brought in a pile of presents for his wife and children and even a new shotgun for himself. He couldn't figure it out. Where did all this come from? His wife was suspicious and questioned him several times during the day, accusing him of hiding money on her and even of having an affair. In the end, she accepted the generous gifts and gave her husband a big hug. They partied well into the night, and Bob didn't get to bed until almost 3 a.m. Now, he is late for work and will more than likely lose his job. He walks up to the hangar, and the big main door is closed. Strange, he thinks. He pushes the button to open the door, and right in the middle of the hangar is a big Christmas tree.
Oh, this can't be. Something must have happened to Mr. Scrooge. Mr. Scrooge! Mr. Scrooge, are you here?
Ratchet walks into the office. No Scrooge. Then he hears an airplane. He runs out to the tarmac to see if it's going to land. It doesn't. It circles the field and then begins doing stunts. He hears a voice on the radio in the hangar. He runs back in to see if it's the pilot.
Oh, come in, unidentified plane flying over Scrooge and Farley Aviation. Do you copy?
Yes, my dear boy, I copy.
Well, is that you, Mr. Scrooge?
Yeah, that it is, my boy, that it is.
But, sir, are you okay? Why are you flying?
Why am I flying? I'm a pilot, you poor dumb simple mechanic. I'm a pilot, and I love flying.
But sir, you haven't flown in years.
Oh, don't worry, my boy. It's just like riding a bicycle. You never forget how.
Scrooge did indeed love flying. He found his joy again. He determined that he would live the rest of his life serving his fellow man. He used the profits from his business to start a new mission. He hired 20 bush pilots to fly medical personnel and supplies to remote areas. He made many of the flights himself. He especially loved the Christmas flights and playing Santa Claus for the children's parties. As for Bob Ratchet, he got a very substantial raise. Scrooge gave him full coverage insurance for his whole family. He even paid to have his son flown to the Mayo Clinic to receive the treatments he needed to cure his illness. Scrooge put Ratchet in charge of the business and allowed him to hire more mechanics. After all, with Ratchet running the show, Scrooge had more time to fly. And fly he did. Merry Christmas to all.